What are you playing?
Dude, just playing DMC.
Oh, that's a shitty one, isn't it?
Why do you think it's shitty?
The Dante looks like he's from Twilight or something.
Have you actually played it?
Yeah, I played it. Of course I did. Sorta. Like, kinda. Maybe. No.
What?
Why?
Sit down and shut up. I'm about to tell you about this game. Welcome to the 12th episode of The Challenge where we take whatever suggestion you throw at us and spit it back out in an almost weekly update. I'm Amplified, and as always, I'll be taking you through this week's challenge. This week we're looking at a well-known game called DMC Devil May Cry, the 5th entry in the Devil May Cry franchise, and technically a reboot or reimagining of the story. You're Dante, son of Sparta, the demon, and Eva, an angel. That comes with benefits because that makes you a Nephilim, one of the most powerful beings on the planet. And you're going to need every ounce of that power as the new king of demons will literally throw the city upside down to kill you as soon as he finds you. And that's where this game begins. DMC Devil May Cry is an action-adventure hack-and-slash 3D platformer. Try saying that 3 times fast. Made by Ninja Theory and developed by Capcom. It's a reboot of the franchise and is generally considered the worst Devil May Cry by fans of the franchise. In all honesty, I don't agree with them, as this is generally based on the redesign of Dante. Dante's iconic white hair and red coat are replaced with a darker look with short spiky black hair and a coat of the same color. While fans yelled outrage at the early redesign, the game itself was received pretty well by both critics and players alike, and is certainly worth checking out. This game follows the story of Dante, new Dante, in a massive megacity called Lambo City. The city is corrupt and controlled by demons, headed by the Demon King himself, Mundus. Mundus presents himself as a business magnate with claws so far in every cookie jar that even the president asks him for permission. He also has a pretty extreme leather fetish, which becomes obvious when you look at his girl. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is that thing? That looks like the entire luggage load from a plane carrying only Beverly Hills women fell into the Amazon River, got eaten by crocodiles and alligators, was skinned, then let out to dry in the Nevada desert before it was kicked all the way to Las Vegas by a guy wearing nothing but the same broken sandals he'd been wearing for like 20 years. Mundus is not a fan of Sparta, because Sparta fell in love with an angel and made babies. The resulting babies, the aforementioned Nephilim, are Dante and Virgil. The game starts with a focus on Dante. After a night of heavy drinking, smoking, and plowing, Dante is awakened by a cute girl. I was trying to make a joke there, but it never happens to me, so moving on. Who tells Dante that he's been targeted by bad things? At that very moment, Dante gets pulled into limbo by the Hunter, a big demon, who needs on every item. Dante dispatches the Hunter with attitude. Meets up with a medium who can see into limbo, who takes him to meet with her boss, Virgil. Virgil asks Dante to help kill the Demon King Mundus because they're too badass. And after learning of his past, Dante agrees. Soon, the Hunter becomes the Hunted, as Dante and Virgil slaughter their way through endless demonic hordes to kill Mundus' son, concubine, credibility, bank account, and finally, Mundus himself. Now, why can't Virgil, if he's a badass Nephilim as well, do it himself? Well, because Mundus is invulnerable. Yeah, logic, I know. Mundus apparently pressed IDDQD in a virtual reality and became linked to the Hellgate, sustaining him indefinitely. Dante distracts Mundus while Virgil closes the Hellgate. 2 Nephilim proved too much for poor big old bad Mundus, and now that Mundus is dead, Virgil intends to rule humanity in his place, which leaves us with basically one option. Beat the shit out of Big Bro. Now, because of the collapse of the Limbo world, the two worlds merge and demons become visible to humans. The world is now chaos, and the game itself is set up for countless sequels, which haven't happened yet. Because I have a fair amount to say about the gameplay, let's reverse this casting couch of minimal stats and start with sound and graphics. The sound of this game is adequate in what it needs to do. The battle sounds are fast and feisty, clangs of the sword and axe feel devastating while the guns feel like they lack impact, but hey, you're not walking around the same map for the 58th time trying to get a backshot for your helicopter kill streak. No, you're a Nephilim who is shooting big ass demons. Get out your melee because guns are only there for minor interruptions. The soundtrack itself is supplied by Noisia and Combi Cries. And for the first time in the history of music, Noisia is actually for the slow bits. Combi Cries supplies most of the battle score with lyrics that provide more F words than I have in all my challenge videos combined. That's including the actual Let's Plays. A feat by itself very impressive. While the music is not meant for stimulating conversation in our home library or reading room, it definitely gets you pumped while you take on Mundus's hordes. Speaking about taking on Mundus's horde, the game basically consists out of two things: fighting and platforming. Of these two, the fighting is by far superior. Platforming generally have used one of two hooks, either the demon hook to pull the landscape to you or the angel hook to pull yourself to the landscape, before you can double jump glide all the way over. It's also here where a bug or two come into play, as it's possible to get stuck in the landscape, or for some reason the jump pads in the later section of the game tend not to work and will launch you into infinity.
To infinity and beyond!
Instead of their pre-programmed track. This rarely happens, but sadly this bug ruined a no death run or two for me. Where this game excels, it's its fighting system. It starts out fairly simple with just guns and a sword, but the difficulty soon ramps up when you unlock an axe, fists, a scythe, chakrams, shotgun, explosive gun, and of course the hookshot. Besides that, you can invest in Dante to upgrade his abilities, his skills, and his combos to create even more devastating setups. And you're going to need it, because this game, like any other DMC, is hard. This game comes with 8 difficulties: Human, Demon Hunter, Nephilim, Son of Sparta, Dante Must Die, Heaven or Hell or Hell, and finally, Gods Must Die, which is an unlockable difficulty you can only get on the definitive edition of the game for PS4 and Xbox One. The normal enemies, shielded enemies you must pull their shield away from with your hook, as well as armored enemies that you need to break the armor off, and finally, elemental enemies. The latter were removed from the definitive edition of this game, and I can see why, because they're annoying as fuck when you can only attack them in either demon or angel stats. Speaking about that, pressing the right or left trigger, or R2 or L2, depending on what platform you use while performing your actions, does either a demon or an angel move. The demon moves are generally more powerful but slower, while the fast angelic attacks tend to have more of an area of effect vibe, making you feel like Kratos in the Gods of War series when he's using his Athena blades. You'll need to diversify your attacks to get high style rankings, making fights against a single element demon even more annoying. Especially for this run, because I intend to get an S rank or higher in every single mission, without resetting. The challenge that was set for me was beating the game in a single playthrough on Nephilim difficulty. The others don't unlock until you beat the game, while getting an S rank or higher on every single stage. That meant that doing a stage over would fail the challenge. With a couple of bugs and glitches I encountered this run, this was very hard to do. The question is, how did I do? Let's find out in this week's montage. Roll it.
knock you down with your face pushed against the fence. Why don't you finish yourself, since you don't really care? Let the screams in your head be the last thing you hear. Just gonna go. Hey, you, what the fuck is wrong with you? Hey, you, what the fuck is wrong with you? Hey, you, what the fuck is wrong with you? Hey, you, what the fuck is wrong with you? Go down to
much stress. Every time I had an accidental death due to bugs or platforms not working like they should, I was incredibly worried about my ranking and had to get extra stylish in combat. And without the ability to backtrack to collect items formerly out of reach, having a 50% clear rate on most levels was considered high. I pretty much had to get triple S on every combat and a triple S on most times. So all in all, great success. Very nice. Do people even know Board anymore? Between flashy experimental graphics that work surprisingly well, a deep layered combat system, some original boss fights, and music that keeps pumping and thumping even after you close off the game, DMC is a decent game. It offers plenty to come back to, and the redesign doesn't bother me as much as it has some
Why?
fans. All in all, I would give it an 8 out of 10. The challenge to get S or higher on every stage in one playthrough was plenty hard, but not impossible. I'd give it a challenge rating of very hard. With a side note, if I had to do this on Hell or Hell mode, it'd be damn near impossible. And that's the end of DMC Devil May Cry. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. If you're a lover of DMC, stay tuned as we'll be running DMC 3 in the near future. Don't forget to check last week's video where I present the top 10 of my hardest games ever. And as always, thanks for watching. You the man, you the woman. I hope you have a great night or day depending on where you are, and bye.